Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. At this time, we ask that you please rise and join our alumna, Miss Diane Brown, who will sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the guns bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the free, under the home of love.
You may be seated. Thank you, Ms. Brown, for that wonderful performance. Good morning and welcome to Generation College's 121st Commencement Ceremony. My name is Adam Hitzman, and I am the Director of Marketing and Communications at the college, as well as the Master of Ceremonies. I'm delighted to present you and to host this memorable occasion. We will now begin, so let me ask for you to turn off your cell phones and be courteous to those around you by refraining from talking during the ceremony. Thank you for being a part of this momentous occasion. Please enjoy. At this moment, I would like to introduce the Vice Chair of the Board of Trustees and our very own alumna, Ms. Rhonda Jensen, who is a member of this fine institution. Ms. Jensen is a distinguished court reporter and a business leader. She began her court reporting career at the age of 19 upon receiving her associate's degree in applied science from the college. She is a stellar example of how our institution is dedicated to producing prepared graduates for successful careers. Upon graduating, Ms. Jensen worked for 2 years as an independent court reporter at a medium-sized agency. In June 1986, she began her own business, Jensen Litigation Solutions. Her business grew from a one-person shop to a worldwide court reporting agency of nearly 100 employees. Rhonda sold her business in 2016 and remains dedicated to her profession and serves as the president of the Midwest region of Lexitas. Rhonda has achieved the highest certification attainable for court reporting, a registered diplomat reporter. She remains very passionate about giving back to her alma mater and generously gives her time as the vice chair of the Board of Trustees. The college has named one of its lecture rooms Jensen Litigation Solutions for Rhonda's generosity in supporting the students and academic achievement. Here to provide our graduates, their families, and friends with the welcome address is Generation College's Board of Trustees Vice Chair, Ms. Rhonda Jensen.
Thank you so much, Adam, and congratulations, graduates. Good morning. I'd like to issue a warm welcome on behalf of the Board of Trustees, our Board Chair, Mike Golubayowski, Board Secretary Bernard Toussaint, Board Member David Knight, Chancellor Alexis, and Chow Anderson Almeida, who will be delivering our commencement address. And most of all, welcome to the graduating class of 2025. This is the 121st commencement in the proud history of Generations College. Our name reflects the institution's legacy across multiple generations, a long history of access and diversity, and a commitment to empowering the success of its students and faculty. Today, graduates, your names are added to the list of alumni who have earned a degree from our prestigious college. I'd just like to say that it is truly a privilege and honor for me to attend this annual commencement ceremony every year as a board member. I am a proud graduate of McCormick College School of Court Reporting, and I say it all the time, but I genuinely have a heart full of gratitude for Generations College. I consider it a true honor to be able to give back to this wonderful institution. I have never forgotten my time as a student. That gave me my start in the most rewarding and enjoyable career I could ever have imagined. Without the education and training I received, along with the sincere encouragement, care, and attention of my instructors, I would never have been able to start a business that would completely change my life in so many ways. The relationships I've formed and enjoyed along the way have enriched my life beyond words, and that most definitely includes the relationships of my fellow board members and everyone at Generations College. So on that note, it is now my great honor to introduce Dr. Grace Alexis. On June 25th, 2011, she was unanimously elected by the Board of Trustees as president of Generations College, and today she serves as our esteemed chancellor. A lifelong advocate for education, business, and innovation, Dr. Alexis has devoted her career to empowering others and breaking barriers. She is a philanthropist, best-selling author, an accomplished leader who has held executive appointments at Duke University, Columbia University, and New York University. She sharpened her business acumen during her tenure at Goldman Sachs on Wall Street and holds a doctorate from the University of Pennsylvania. In addition to her professional achievements, she holds ministerial credentials and lives a life deeply rooted in purpose and service. Dr. Alexis, together with the college's leadership team, works diligently to inspire students, faculty, and staff to perform at their highest levels and exceed expectations. Under her leadership, the college has earned a reputation for excellence, achieving both national and regional recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct privilege to introduce our Honorable Chancellor, Dr. Grace Alexis.
Thank you, Rhonda Jensen, and I want to thank all members of our Board of Trustees for their dedication to Generations College. So good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you, our newest graduates, your family and friends, as we memorialize the 121st Commencement Ceremony of Generations College. Philosopher G.K. Chesterton once uttered the timeless words, "Education is simply the soul of a society as it passes from one generation to another." This truth echoes through the very name of our institution. At Generations College, we are not simply an academic institution. We are a living, breathing legacy, a bridge between the past and the future. We are the torchbearers of knowledge, passing the flame from one generation to the next. This year, as we proudly mark our 121st year of continuous existence, we reflect on a history rich with both triumph and tenacity. We have weathered the Great Depression, navigated global crises, and emerged from a worldwide pandemic, not merely surviving, but shining. Through every storm, Generations College has stood as a pillar of hope and resilience, anchored in its mission and unshaken in its purpose. And today, as we gather in this beautiful, breathtaking venue, both in person and across our digital borders, we celebrate not only the milestone of your academic achievements, but the spirit of perseverance and adaptability that defines who we are. When I speak of adaptability, I speak of the courage to evolve, the ability for us to welcome, embrace, and manage change. Because the world you are stepping into is not the world of yesterday. It is a world in motion. The rules are being rewritten every day. Careers are being redefined, especially by the onset of new technologies. Knowledge is doubling every few months, and yet one truth remains. Those who are equipped to learn, adapt, and to lead will not only survive, but you will shape the future. At Generations, we have embraced this reality. Our student body is as dynamic and diverse as any place, with students hailing from 40 US states and countries like Canada and the Caribbean. Over 70% of our learners are enrolled online. There are many of you online today. And this is a far cry from the generations of decades past when we were mostly a Chicago-based commuter school. But now we are clinging to tradition for tradition. We're not clinging to tradition for tradition's sake, but we are building tradition with a vision. Today, each of you become a part of a legacy, a permanent branch on the Generations College tree, rooted in over a century of academic excellence. We are proud to be the third oldest two-year private college in the nation. And yet what excites me the most is not just our past, but our future. Our strategic plan entitled A Legacy Renaissance includes the expansion of our free tuition scholarship program for single parents and the creation of cutting-edge programs designed to meet the demands of a rapidly evolving job market. Most notably, beginning this fall, we are integrating artificial intelligence into our curriculum, not as a trend, but as a tool. Because the future of work will be driven by those who know how to work with machines, not just for them. We are preparing you to lead in a world where human intelligence and artificial intelligence coexist, and they coexist with integrity, compassion, and creativity. And here's the most exciting news. After a comprehensive institution-wide review of our programs, including our governance, finances, student success outcomes, Generations College has been awarded a 10-year reaccreditation by the Higher Learning Commission. Yes, you can clap for that. And this is not just an administrative milestone. It is a testament to the enduring quality of the education you now carry with you. Graduates, each of you is part of this shining legacy. And because of your grit, your late nights, your early mornings, your sacrifice, Generations shines even brighter today. Take this moment in. Let it brand your heart. The journey here may have been steep, but today, you've climbed it. You have bounced back when life tried to break you. You have proven that setbacks are setups for a comeback, right? Tell your story. Tell the truth of what it took for you to get here. Tell of the days when you almost gave up, the prayers you whispered in silence, the resilience summoned from depths you didn't even know you had, because someone else is waiting to believe that it's possible. And you are living proof that it is. Never forget, while life will cause you to lose people, your possessions, and sometimes your way, what you have earned here, your degree, can never, ever be taken away from you. It is your intellectual property. It is your badge of honor. It is your entry ticket into a world that respects those who have dared to finish what they started. But let me be candid with you. The road ahead won't always be easy. There will be many hills to climb, moments of heartbreak, and days when the world may seem too heavy to carry. I cannot promise a life free from adversity because the world is not a utopia. But I can promise you this: your education will carry you. It will speak for you in rooms where you haven't yet walked. It will open doors your ancestors could only dream of. And when the winds of life try to knock you down, let your degree remind you, you've overcome before and you will overcome again. You are not defined by your falls, but by how high you rise. And rise you have, and rise you will again. As you go forth, I urge you to set your own limits and define your own path. Lead with courage, love with passion and compassion, and work with excellence. Step boldly into your future. The world needs more light. The world needs more leaders. The world needs more you. And know this, you are never alone. You are forever a part of the community that believes in you, prays for you, and cheers you on, even after you've left here. My beloved, remember, all things are possible through hard work, faith, and dedication. Let this be your genesis, a beginning filled with limitless potential. Reach for the stars, and when you do, reach back and lift someone else up. From 1904 to 2025, Generations College has remained faithful to its mission to ignite minds, uplift communities, and empower the workforce. And now, the torch is yours to carry. You are the honored class of 2025. This is your moment. This is your legacy. This is your season. Class of 2025, with all of my heart, I salute you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Alexis. I would now like to introduce our valedictorian speaker, representing the graduating class of 2025, Julio Guerrero. He will be, congratulations, Julio. He will be graduating with a double major from the Business Administration and Entrepreneurship program. He is a Phi Theta Kappa and Alpha Beta Gamma member. Welcome, Julio.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm a little nervous, but we will get through this. Honored faculty, esteemed guests, beloved friends and family, my dearest fellow graduates. Today is not merely a celebration of our achievements, it is a tribute to our trials, our growth, and the resilience that carried us through. To stand here on this stage is to bear witness to a journey defined not only by triumph, but by tenacity. We have traveled a road that has tested us in ways we never expected. And I speak not only as a graduate today, but as someone who is deeply aware of the storms we've weathered, both seen and unseen. There were days, many days, when we questioned our strength, days when the weight of expectation, exhaustion, and fear settled heavily on our shoulders, days when even the smallest tasks seemed insurmountable and the finish line appeared to move farther away with every step. But here we are. Despite those days, despite the doubts and the challenges, we pressed forward, we adapted, we endured. This is the spirit we honor today. Not perfection, but perseverance. Perseverance, after all, is not a passive trait. It is a decision we make time and again, to keep going even when we thought we had nothing left to give. It's the quiet resolve in the fear of failure, and the courage to rise after every setback. It's realizing that the greatest measure of our success isn't in the awards or the accolades, but in the grit it took to get here. Let us not forget that our success is not ours alone. This moment is a collective one, a mosaic made up of the countless individuals who helped us along the way, the professors who challenged and inspired us to think critically and dream big, the classmates who become our chosen family, who shared not just notes, but moments of joy, tears, and support, the mentors who saw a spark in us even when we felt dim, and who believed in our potential before we did. And of course, our loved ones. Those who stood by us when we felt like giving up, who listened, who prayed, who waited. Your unwavering love has been the quiet force behind every late night, every early morning, and every moment when we doubted ourselves. Thank you. From the deepest corners of our hearts, thank you. Let's give our family members a round of applause real quick. Thank you so much. Above all, it is the unity among us graduates that has been the bedrock of this journey. The way we supported one another, the way we held space for each other, especially in our moments of uncertainty. We laughed between tears, shared notes, split meals, and offered our hearts when someone needed it most. We were never alone in this process. The bonds we formed, the friendships we cultivated, and the community we've built will be the lasting legacy of our time here. As president of the Student Advocacy Council, I have been profoundly moved by what it means to serve others. I've seen courage in quiet corners, in students who dare to speak up for change, in peers who turn compassion into action, and in those who refuse to let others be left behind. These acts of courage, big and small, are the quiet revolutions that shape the world, and it has been an honor to witness them. Leadership, I have learned, is not about the spotlight or applause. It is about integrity. When no one is watching, it's about choosing what is right even when it's inconvenient. It's about asking the most sacred question, who am I lifting today? As we prepare to step into the future, I ask you to pause for a moment and reflect. Look at how far you've come. Look at the obstacles you've overcome. Look at the person you have become. You are not the same person who walked in those doors, and that transformation is something to be proud of. Ask yourself, what will I do with all I've been given? With the knowledge etched into our minds, the wounds turned into wisdom, and the love that has carried us through it all, what now? Will you extend a hand when others turn away? Will you choose kindness in a world that often mistakes cruelty for strength? Will you dare to remain soft in a world that praises hardness? Will you be the person that chooses to heal, uplift, and love in a world that so desperately needs it? There's a quote I hold dear from the late, great Maya Angelou. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Let this be the legacy we carry, not merely what we know, but how we use that knowledge to heal, uplift, and love. Let us never forget the true power of our education lies not in the degrees we hold, but in the way we choose to treat others, the way we bring light into dark places, and the way we make people feel seen, heard, and valued. We are not merely graduates, my friends. We are the architects of a new era, one shaped by empathy, courage, and an unshakable commitment to justice and grace. I look at each of you and I see possibilities. I see the power to change the world, not through force, but through love and intentional action. I see artists and scientists, nurses and dreamers, leaders and quiet revolutionaries. I see people who are capable of rewriting what the future looks like. So let us walk forward, not with arrogance, but with grace, with quiet dignity, with the certainty of those who know their worth, not because it was handed to them, but because it was earned, fought for. May we never forget the lessons etched in late nights and early sunrises. May we carry forward the softness we were told to bury and the strength we never knew we had. The world is not merely waiting for us, it needs us. It yearns for hearts that can hold complexity, voices that speak with conviction, and souls unafraid to love out loud. We, the class of 2025, are ready. From the depths of my heart, thank you for your love, your belief, and your bravery, and congratulations, class of 2025. Perfect.
Thank you, Julio, for that very inspiring speech. It is now my pleasure to bring Chancellor Alexis back to the stage to introduce today's commencement speaker.
Well, before I have the honor of reading the bio of our commencement speaker, I just want to share with you how it has come about that he's here. So it's interesting. This morning I received in my email box, and every so often this happens, like once a year, where you get information from a publisher about how many schools are closing. Colleges are closing all over the nation, all over the world. The interest in higher education is waning, but yet the colleges that are remaining stable and that are being sustained are those that have a vision and those that constantly are working through that vision, because you may have a plan, but sometimes there's a different plan, and you have to be willing and able to work with those changes. Even in your lives, graduates, that's what it's about. There's change happening, and you need to be nimble enough to do that. So not too long ago, we made a decision, I'd say about 2 years, maybe a year and a half ago, we made the decision to incorporate AI, artificial intelligence, into our curriculum, because we wanted our graduates to learn, and this is actually starting in the fall, so our new graduates, you guys can still come back to be a part of this, but we want our graduates to be prepared for the workforce. And in knowing that the workforce needs to have people who are unafraid of technology, who are comfortable with it, and who have had some experience with it, we're thinking ahead, and we've decided to incorporate AI into the curriculum. And so with that, I said, wouldn't it be great if we could have, for our graduates this year, an AI commencement speaker that was an expert in artificial intelligence? So it was just a fleeting thought, but my staff, and I know the faculty and team, they know if an idea, a fleeting thought, often becomes a reality, with me at least, right? So just fast forward, I heard that our keynote speaker, Mr. Kao, that he was going to be teaching a class. It was an online class, and I said, well, let's get our faculty together and our administrators to listen to him. He was absolutely phenomenal. When I say phenomenal, he knows about this topic. I am so blessed. I think we should all be very happy and excited to have someone of his caliber here with us. But him being here is a testament to what we do at Generations. We put vision to task. And so with that, let me go ahead and read his bio. And it is my honor to introduce Generation College's 121st commencement speaker, K.O. Anderson Almeida. Mr. Almeida stands at the forefront of technological innovation as a Brazilian-American entrepreneur, creative technologist, and visionary leader. As the founder and CEO of Opto Creative Lab, Inc., a Florida-based technology solutions company, he has dedicated over 2 decades to pioneering advancements in artificial intelligence, augmented reality, and virtual reality. His work has redefined how public and private institutions across the Americas, and I dare say internationally, engage with digital experiences. Under Mr. Almeida's leadership, Opto Creative Lab has garnered international recognition. In 2024, the company was honored with the Innovation Virtual Brand Experience Provider of the Year and named the most innovative next-gen CX technology company at the Technology Innovators Awards. These accolades underscore his commitment to pushing the boundaries of customer experience and through the use of cutting-edge technology. Mr. Almeida's influence extends beyond his company's achievements. In 2023, he was featured in the Victory magazine and recognized as the most impactful CTO to watch, highlighting his role as a thought leader guiding humanity into its next technological era. His insights continue to inspire a new generation of innovators and technologists. Complementing his technological pursuits, Mr. Almeida possesses a rich musical background. He is a conservatory-trained classical pianist, having completed an intensive 6-year program in morphology and harmony of music and classical piano at the National Brazilian Conservatory of Music in Bahia, Brazil. This artistic foundation informs his multidisciplinary approach to innovation, blending creativity with technical expertise. Mr. Almeida's career is a testament to the power of interdisciplinary thinking and the impact of visionary leadership. His presence at today's ceremony offers graduates a glimpse into the future of technology and the boundless possibilities that await when passion meets purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, help me bring to the stage our 121st keynote, Mr. Almeida.
Thank you for the introduction. After that great introduction, I want to meet this guy too. Well, listen, I'll tell you this. I left Florida yesterday, it was 90 degrees, okay? But here's the thing, I'm in a place that doesn't depend of the warmth from the outside. Because my heart feels warmer today, okay? With 40 degrees, I don't know what's the temperature right now, but I got in, it was about 40 degrees that I felt it, okay? So the warmth that I feel with the resilience and the accomplishment that you completed today is what warms the world and will warm your future, okay? Class of 2025, I don't care what technology and AI say about the relevance of academic achievement these days. I want to talk about the achievement of your graduation, your resilience, and the beginning of your future. I want an applause to you right now, because it's not about So I want to congratulate the board, the president, the faculty, the parents, and first of all, congratulate all of you. My office, I have an office in Orlando that is just about 35 miles from the Kennedy Space Center. My 6-year-old knows, when I say knows everything about rockets, he knows everything about rockets, okay? So he was, we were preparing a diorama for him, and he was speaking about the fuel, and they coming together and launching this rocket. And when I was there, just a few miles away, looking at it, automatically this place came to my mind. So, in my heart, it came to me the best definition for today for you. This is your launch pad, okay? And this diploma is your fuel. And what this organization have put it in you is all of the artifacts that you need to reach the stars. I want to commend you for stepping forward and being resilient in one of the most resilient and historic cities, in historic and resilient institutions, for a very historic moment like this in your life. Coming just in the biggest shift in the history of humanity, you were put in right in the middle of it. And this institution has empowered you not just to be in the middle, but to be a leader going forward. I asked a couple of AIs just to give a little quick definition about Generations College. And I made sure to use, I always use about 4 of them, and because they have different approaches, and they use math and they use real data to give definition, to take the bias out of the way, right? So, and here's what it says, and I'm not gonna be too long, but I really like this part when it says that Generation College is not a college, it's a legacy of access, a future of leadership, and a place where purpose is given momentum. This is your launch pad, okay? It's launch time. You better be ready, because you're going. I've been traveling the world talking about AI, implementing AI, understanding processes and systems, and implementing solutions with the newest technologies. And excites me because it's the first time in human history where the most powerful tools are completely available to you and me for pretty much no money, free. And all you need is what you got, what brought you up to this point, which is the resilience and which is the vision to push you forward and be a leader in transformation in this generation. I want to alert all of us that we're in a paradox, and we are in the middle of a philosophical dispute of, do we embrace AI or do we demonize AI because it's coming to get our jobs, to get our lives? I want to encourage you to see 2 different ways, and I'm going to try to dissect this for you right now. Understanding that we're living in the most revolutionary transformation in human history and the biggest wealth transfer in history as well. Because from the Silicon Valley, as a matter of fact, we're going straight to the Silicon Valley after this, we're seeing companies, $1 billion and multi-million-dollar companies being started with 2-3 people. So all these companies with 100, 200 employees are not the ones leading the way right now. So you have everything you need to get started today. You have the resilience that you need, and you have the empowerment that this institution has provided to you. But I want to, for some of us here, we understand what was life before AI and internet, during and right after. We were just speaking about that a few minutes ago. And I want you to understand one thing as you go out there and start your career and start your leadership role, is where we came from, where we are going, and what steps do we need to take, and we are taking to get there. Before that is, where did the market came from, where it's at today, and where it's going, but what are the steps that are happening to get us to that point. I don't know how many of you remember here Kodak. It was a company that invented the digital photography. It dominated the market in the 80s and 70s. And their market cap was about $35 billion. Back then, this was a big deal, right? We see $35 billion companies today left and right, but back then was extremely relevant. They created the first digital camera, but decided not to market and keep it in the shelf because they didn't want to challenge themselves to innovate because they made too much money with the films. And that vision itself is what killed Kodak when Sony and Canon came with the first digital cameras on the market. And when they tried to innovate and when they tried to put out what they already had, it was too late. So that's when I come and say that it's important for you to be ready so you don't have to get ready because you might not have enough time to do it when you figure that out. So why am I giving you this example? I'm giving you another one. How many of you remember Blockbuster, right? That business model, which dominated the market. And the business model was all on the top of late fees. None of us could keep up with that. You rented a tape, you're supposed to return it in 24 hours, and then 24 days later, that were you, returning that tape and then paying that money. The CEOs and founders of Netflix walked into the boardroom and offered Blockbuster to buy Netflix for $50 million. Their business model was to ship DVDs through the mail. They didn't even had started with any kind of streaming yet, but they already had the business plan for a streaming platform. Literally, they were left out of the room. Blockbuster didn't even want to hear about it. And in 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. And Netflix dominated not just the streaming service. They got rid of the DVDs, right? But they also are content creators, and they dominate that market as well. So they didn't die because they were weak. They died because they were strong at the wrong era. Do you understand what that means? They were strong at the wrong era. So same thing happened with BlackBerry. How many of us remember BlackBerry here? All the executives were in love with that little keyboard. When Steve Jobs said, we're going to create a phone that has only one button. Impossible. How is one button? Nobody is going to want that. So BlackBerry said, we have a group of people and customers that will not switch to another device that doesn't have a keyboard. So when Apple launched iPhone in 2007, Apple didn't launch a smartphone. Smartphone was not the new thing that they were launching. So they launched the screen touch technology. right? So right there at that moment, in some segments, BlackBerry dominated 85% of the smartphone market. And globally, 52% of the market. So soon they just filed for bankruptcy. They failed to innovate, and they failed to understand one thing that dominates today's market and the strategy of any business and any plan that you have for the future, which is not product, which is not sales, which is not AI, which is not technology. It's only one thing, it's customer behavior. And the capacity to anticipate customer behavior will define the future of your endeavor. So anticipating that is what is going to position you to be in the forefront and not die. It's do or die. That was the phrase that came out right after Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. So, but I'm going to explain to you another angle of all of this, okay? Where do we come in cohesiveness with technology? 500 years ago, all of us, all of humanity was able to create and share that creation with everybody. It was not a privilege of a small group of talented individuals that created art, music, and used their creativity to create products and service. So let's say that human creativity is like water. It flows, it's liquid, and it's made to flow among humans for a mutual human experience. So your product, your service, your creativity, your music, your art is made for a human collective experience. Through the industrialization and commercialization of art and creativity, different industries found a way to freeze a moment of creativity and transform that in little ice cubes that were saved. There we go. Look at that. Awesome. So when you have a moment of creativity, you play a song, you make a song, you do a speech, you write a book. Industries were able to freeze that moment and transform human liquid flow experience into a product. That's when you get a music froze into a little ice cube that you sell, then people just melt it to water to flow as unfreeze that experience that was froze at that specific moment. Then comes artificial intelligence. And let's pretend, I wish I had some plastic ice cubes here. And they create and they imitate that whole process. And they actually create ice cubes made out of plastic that they mimic the effect of freezing human experience and promoting that experience. But when you melt it, it never becomes water. It never fulfilled the purpose of creativity, bringing a liquid free flow of human experience among individuals. So what am I trying to say over here? I'm not trying to say that plastic cubes are wrong, but you got to understand that on your endeavor to the future, becoming leaders, you need to understand the difference when you're creating ice cubes, which is frozen moments of human interaction, creativity through your products, services, and art that you create, that you want to scale and sell and make a business out of it, it is okay. You can create your plastic ice cubes, but the intention of what you're creating needs to start in the very beginning, and you need to position your expectation for the result to be where you started. Are you about to create frozen moments of human interactivity and creativity for them to share? Or are you creating plastic cubes that will never melt into water and will never flow in among humans to create and fulfill the needs that we have for human interactivity? When you understand that, it will position yourself in the marketplace and in your business endeavors to hit the right market. But understanding that intentionally, you go to plastic when you intended to go to plastic. You were synthetic when you knew that that's exactly where you're going, but never trying to melt a plastic cube and expect to get water out of it. That's the moment when we start outsourcing our thinking to machines. To close, I want to get to that end, wrap up, coming from the very beginning of what we talk about, of understanding the need to not die because of the lack of innovation and the lack of understanding of where customer behaviors are going. We also understand that technology can take away our own existence and transform into a synthetic piece of plastic that can for sure be commercialized and profited out. But when we don't distinguish those two cubes, we start outsourcing our thinking. Okay, well, perfect example. We go to places and we use a GPS system to take us there. We go to that place 100 times. The moment you don't have a GPS, you have no clue how to get there. You are in a situation where you need to call your family member and you don't have your phone on you and you need to use somebody else's phone. And you have no clue what's your mom's number or your kid's number, right? So it's okay outsourcing your thinking to a machine, but knowing when it's synthetic and knowing when it's water. Don't try to drink melted plastic and expect to have human response, connectivity, interaction, and success. Know the difference. Be intentional about it. I want you to go out there. You're not to compete with AI. You are here to complete what only humans can. And the moment that we are right now in history is that nobody has been able to separate the plastic from the ice cubes. And nobody was able to separate human interactivity and creativity to creative products. Creative products in a plastic format will never become water. But you, as a human, you are here to maintain human creativity to the core. Do not outsource your thinking to third-party machines, where those machines will come to control your own existence. From this point on, you're on this launch pad. We are on a countdown. And you're going to go back to your business plan and you're going to define what's plastic, what's ice cubes, and what's water. And for those that wants to produce water and go out there intentionally, take that diploma and make that river flow.
Mr. K.O. Anderson Almeida, everyone. We have a gift for you. Wasn't that an incredible keynote? Mind blown. Mind blown. This is next level thinking. This is avant-garde. And this is what we intend for you to experience moving forward at Generations College. And as Mr. Almeida said, we have to continue growing. We have to be avant-garde in what we are thinking. We have to be ahead of what's happening. And think about what we're doing now. Think about what you are each doing. And make sure that you're not just in the moment, but you're also thinking about your future and how you can incorporate technology into it. This was an absolutely phenomenal presentation, and we also have a presentation for you. K.O. Anderson Almeida from Generations College Board of Trustees, thank you so much for your generosity of your time and being our keynote speaker today. Thank you.
Okay. As we proceed to the portion of the ceremony in which we will recognize all of our incredible graduates, I would like to inform everybody that each category and program will start by naming the students that are present here, and then we'll move on to those virtually. It is my pleasure to be here today as we celebrate the achievements of the graduates who stand before us. Generations College is proud to host the following honor societies: the chapter of Phi Theta Kappa, the National Student Honor Society for two-year institutions, Lambda Epsilon Chi, the National Honor Society founded by the American Association for Paralegal Education in 1996 to recognize persons who have demonstrated superior academic performance in an established paralegal program, and the Alpha Beta Gamma International Business Honor Society, the Business Honor Society for accredited two-year colleges. I would like to introduce Ms. Michelle Underwood, Director of CAPE and PTK Advisor.
Thank you, Adam. I will now start with a presentation of Phi Theta Kappa inductees. The Phi Theta Kappa mission is to, 1, recognize and encourage the academic achievement of two-year college students, and 2, provide opportunities for individual growth and development through participation in honors, leadership, service, and fellowship. Students who have been named to the Dean's List and/or the President's List for 2 consecutive semesters and have a 3.0 cumulative GPA receive an invitation to become a member of Phi Theta Kappa, Tau Delta chapter. I am proud to announce these individuals who were chosen on the basis of scholarship, service, and character. When I call your name, please stand and remain standing. Audience, please hold your applause until all members are called. PTK members: Fatima Allen, Victoria Aites, Tiffany Brown, Deontay Charles, Kiana Cook, Brianna Dent, Antonio Griggs, Julio Guerrero, Madison Hamilton, Matlin Harris, Isabel Engel, De'Ara Moore, Terry Peterson, Janiyah Preston, Valerie Rojas. Now we will name our PTK members who are viewing from various parts of the country via a live stream. Essence Blathers, Tammy Blathers, mom and daughter, Leslie Crawford, Amanda Duncan, Ashley Johnson, Brittany Jones, Ashley King, McKenna Koch, Kylery Lewis, Timbit Manley, Carrie Markham, Desiree Montesino, Bridget Peavy, Victoria Price, Angelica Reyes, Sarah Robertson, and Nitasia Travis, and Sade Valentine. These individuals are wearing a gold stole and cords highlighting their academic honor achievements. Each has earned the right because of their intellectual pursuits, leadership, and service in the highest traditions of continuing academic excellence to now be recognized before their fellow classmates. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the newest Phi Theta Kappa members. It is now my pleasure to introduce Professor David Grassi, Director of the Paralegal Studies Program, who will now present the inductees of Lambda Epsilon Chi.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, Mrs. Underwood. In order to be inducted into Lambda Epsilon Chi, the National Honor Society founded by the American Association for Paralegal Education, students must demonstrate superior academic performance, have an overall GPA of 3.2 or better, and a GPA of 3.5 in their paralegal classes. During the academic year, the following students were chosen to be part of Lambda Epsilon Chi. When I call your name, please approach the stage. I will present you with a pin and certificate to promote your induction into Lambda Epsilon Chi. Once you are presented with the pin and certificate, please return to your seat and remain standing. To our online inductees, you will receive your pin in the mail in the coming days. Audience, please hold your applause until all members are called. Lambda Epsilon Chi members: Fatima Allen, Kiana Cook, Madison Hamilton, and Valerie Rojas. Madeline Harris. Congratulations. All right, now we go on to our member who is viewing via live stream, Keturah Keith.
You go, girl!
Ladies and gentlemen, I present you the newest members of Lambda Epsilon Chi. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Irene Abrams, Director of the Business Administration and Entrepreneurial Studies programs, who will now present the inductees of Alpha, Beta, Gamma.
Thank you for Professor Grassi. Congratulations, graduates. The purpose of Alpha Beta Gamma is to recognize and encourage scholarship among students enrolled in the business and professional curricula or any course of study leading to a business-oriented career at a 2-year degree-granting institution. This honor is based on students' cumulative grade point average of 3.0 or its equivalent. At this time, it is my pleasure to present to you the Alpha Beta Gamma inductees. When I call your name, please approach the stage. I will present you with the certificate to promote your induction into Alpha Beta Gamma. Inductees, once you are presented with your certificate, please return to your seat and remain standing. Once again, to our online inductees, you will receive your certificate and pin in the upcoming days. Audience, we ask that you please hold your applause until all members are called. Tiffany Brown. Deontay Charles. Okay. Yenny Duran. Julio Guerrera. Raquel Fletcher. Yes, remain standing. And to our Alpha Beta Gamma members viewing online via live stream, Tammy Blathers, Nellie DeJesus, Ashley Johnson, Brittany Jones, Kylery Lewis, Sarah Robertson, and Sean Wiley Walker. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the newest members of Alpha Beta Gamma.
Thank you, Dr. Abrams. It is now time to present the class of 2025. To present the class, we have Chancellor Alexis, Dean Mysuria, and Dean Krishke. Distributing the degrees, we have Dean Painter and Mrs. Silva. Dean Mysuria will present the court reporting, criminal justice, and paralegal studies programs, followed by Dean Krishke, who will present the business administration and entrepreneurship program. To begin, I invite Dean Mysuria, Dean of Academic Affairs, to the podium at this time, and I invite Chancellor Alexis to approach the middle of the stage.
Thank you. Before we begin, I want to extend our gratitude to another group that was also instrumental in your success, our faculty. I think our graduates will agree that your instructors worked hard to help you lay a foundation for a successful future. Faculty, Please stand up and let us recognize you. Thank you. Before I present the graduating class, I ask that each graduate approach the stage to your right, one at a time when your name is called. You'll receive your degree from Chancellor Alexis. Graduates, when you shake Chancellor Alexis's hand, please pause for a second or two in order to allow the photographer to take a photo while shaking the Chancellor's hand. You may then proceed to exit right behind me to the left, back to your seat, and please remain standing. Audience, please hold your applause until all graduates are called. And now, without further ado, on behalf of the faculty, it is my honor to certify the candidates for the undergraduate degrees. The candidate for Associate of Applied Science in Court Reporting, viewing via live stream, McKenna Koch. The candidates for Associate of Science in Criminal Justice are as follows: Victoria Aites, Tabitha Deli, Brianna Dent, Antonio Griggs, Mercedes Mendez, De'Ara Moore, Gina Moselle, and Janiyah Preston. And our criminal justice graduate viewing via live stream is Tembet Manley. The candidates for Associate of Science in Paralegal Studies are Fatima Allen, Kiana Cook, Madison Hamilton, Madeline Harris. Calvalina Murray. Felicia Rhodes. Valerie Rojas. And Deborah Seamster. And our paralegal studies graduates viewing via live stream are Leslie Crawford, Angelina James, Katura Keith, and Victoria Price. I now welcome Professor Krishke, Dean of Online Learning and Institutional Assessment, who will present the Business Administration and Entrepreneurship programs. Dean Krishke, please approach the podium.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, I'm short for this. Good morning and congratulations to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered today to celebrate the achievements of a group of exceptionally talented individuals who will receive degrees from the Business Administration and Entrepreneurship programs. When your name is called, please approach the stage and then return to your seat and remain standing. It is with great honor to present you with your degree. The candidates for Associate of Science in Business Administration are Tiffany Brown, Deontay Charles, Raquel Fletcher, Lydia Gordon, Julio Guerrero.
Go ahead, valedictorian. Sorry.
Isabel Engel. Okay. Terry Peterson. Aisha Thomas. And our business administration graduates viewing via live stream are Essence Blathers, Tammy Blathers, Brianna Cook, Nellie DeJesus, Ashley Johnson, Ashley King, Kylery Lewis, Candace McCormick, Desiree Montesino, Bridget Peavy, Sarah Roberson, Kelly Sowell, Natija Travis, Sade Valentine, and Sean Wiley Walker. The candidates for Associate of Science in Entrepreneurship are Tiffany Brown.
Okay, cool.
Chanel Childers. Yenny Duran. Cottrell Foley. Julio Guerrero. Angelina Cohen. entrepreneurship graduates viewing via live stream are Amanda Duncan, Brittany Jones, Carrie Markham, and Angelica Reyes. Dr. Grace Alexis, Chancellor of Generations College, will now confer the right to be recognized for your degrees.
Are you ready? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Yes. May I ask the graduates to please stand? And those of you that are online, you should stand as well in your homes or wherever you are. This is your moment. So I will now confer the right for you to be recognized as having achieved the associate degree. By the authority vested in me by the State of Illinois Board of Higher Education and the Board of Trustees, upon the recommendation of the faculty of Generations College, I confer upon you the associate degree with all the rights and responsibilities appertaineth thereto. All graduates, please switch your tassels from right to left to symbolize your achievement and allow all to recognize it. Congratulations, class of 2025. Congratulations.
All right, congratulations once again. Of course, you deserve it. Before exiting, we would like to commemorate this special occasion with a class graduation picture. Graduates, please follow the directions of the staff and the photographer, and I ask that everyone in the room to just give the room for the photographer for the moment, but then you can all get your pictures of the class graduating picture as well. After which, we'll ask everyone, including the graduates, to take your seat, and we will conclude the ceremony. So for now, you can approach the stage in the middle, and the photographer will line us up for a photo. I have been informed that we did miss one person for their second degree of entrepreneurship, and that we'd like to recognize Isabel Engel real quick. We did not want to miss you. So, just wanted to mention it. All right. Now, as we conclude this ceremony, I would like to thank the members of the Generations College Board of Trustees, Mike Golbiowski, Rhonda Jensen, Bernard Toussaint, David Knight, Chancellor Grace Alexis, Deans Sharvin Mysuria, Catherine Krischke, Joe Painter, and Registrar Maritza Silva, faculty and the administration, our commencement speaker, Kale, and our valedictorian, Julio Guerrero, our pianist, Diane Brown, our photographers and videographers, Vicky, Ben, and Aldo, and everyone here today and viewing throughout the country for their participation in helping to make this a momentous occasion for our graduates. As the recessional music plays, mace carrier Joe Painter will lead the procession out. We will then have a reception outside the doors to your left. Please, audience, as the graduates start to leave, let's give them one more big conditional round of applause. Congratulations, you did it.